I was always the invisible one. My older brother, Marcus, was the golden child. Straight A's, star athlete, my parents' pride and joy. Me? I was just there. If Marcus got a 95, they threw a party. If I got a 95, they'd ask why it wasn't a 100 point. If Marcus messed up, it was he's learning. If I messed up, it was you're a disappointment. I learned early, love in our house wasn't unconditional. It was earned, and I never earned enough. By the time I turned 15, things got worse. Marcus had started getting into trouble, nothing too serious at first. Skipping school? Hanging with the wrong crowd? But my parents? They ignored it, because Marcus could do no wrong. Meanwhile, I was working part-time, keeping my grades up, staying out of trouble, and still being treated like a burden. The night everything changed. I remember it too clearly. Marcus had crashed my dad's car, drunk. Instead of blaming him, they blamed me. Said I was a bad influence. Said I caused tension in the house. Then my mom said the words that rewired my entire life. Maybe this home just isn't working with you in it. I thought it was anger talking. It wasn't. They packed my things in trash bags. At 15 years old, they put me out. No plan. No safety net. No one coming to save me. I slept on couches. Sometimes in places I don't even like to remember. But something in me snapped, and then sharpened. I stopped waiting to be loved. I started building. I worked. I studied. I hustled. While other kids were going to prom, I was figuring out survival. Years passed, and slowly, my life started to come together. Scholarships, a degree, a career, then a business. Then another. By 28, I wasn't just stable, I was successful. The kind of successful people don't expect from someone who started with nothing. And for the first time in my life, I felt powerful. I hadn't seen or heard from my family in over a decade. Until one day, I got a call. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. It was my mother, crying. "Your father is sick," she said. "He doesn't have much time." I said nothing. Then she added, "We need your help." "Of course you do." I agreed to meet them. Not because I forgave them, but because I needed closure. When I walked into that hospital room, I barely recognized him. Weak, pale, smaller, not the man who threw me out like trash. My mom hugged me like I was something precious. Funny how value changes when you need something. Marcus was there too, and he looked destroyed. I later found out why. Gambling, bad investments, loans he couldn't repay. He had burned through everything my parents gave him. The golden child. Had nothing left, and now they were all looking at me like I was the answer. My mom cried, apologized, said she was wrong, said she should have protected me, said she thinks about that night every day. And I believed her. But belief doesn't erase damage. Then came the real ask. They wanted money, a lot of it, to cover Marcus's debts, to pay medical bills, to fix everything. I sat there quietly. Then I smiled and said, "I'll help under one condition." Hope lit up their faces. I handed them a folder. Inside were documents, legal ones. I had already done my research. Their house in foreclosure, their accounts empty. Marcus being investigated for fraud. I looked at them and said, "I'll pay for Dad's care." My mom started crying harder. Then I continued. "But Marcus gets nothing." Silence. "He made his choices," I said calmly. "Just like you made yours." Marcus snapped. Started yelling, calling me selfish, bitter, heartless. Then he made the biggest mistake of his life. A few days later, He tried to access my accounts. Fraud, forgery, desperation makes people sloppy. I pressed charges. He was arrested, convicted, and sent to prison. The golden child finally faced consequences. I paid for my father's medical care. Not for love, not for forgiveness, but because I chose who I wanted to be. He passed a few months later. We never really spoke. My mother changed, truly. She didn't ask for money again. She just showed up, called, listened, apologized without expecting anything back. And for the first time, I saw her as human, not just the woman who failed me. We're not perfect. We're not close in the way mothers and daughters should be, but we're building something, slowly. Honestly, because forgiveness isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about deciding it doesn't control you anymore. And as for me, I'm no longer the neglected child. I'm the one they couldn't